Hey guys, welcome back. Today I have a video for you guys regarding hair and dyeing or bleaching your hair. So I've been blonde for a while now and I've been dyeing my hair since I was in high school, so it's been a very long time and I had so many experiences and advice that I'd like to share with you guys just before you go and fry your hair. So let's get into it. Okay, so starting off, I want to show you guys purple conditioner and shampoo, and these guys are so important in maintaining your blonde hair, especially when you like it ashy like I do. It's so important just because they help to take out any brassy tones, especially with my kind of hair because I have naturally black hair, and usually with Asian hair we have a lot of golden and orange tones, which means that if you ever go blonde you can easily go yellow and go orange in a few washes. And that's why I've bought the NAC pack, and this is a great pack and it contains the shampoo, conditioner and the treatments as well. And from time to time I like to stock up on these kind of packs just because I like the way they can save a bit of money and it comes in a set. And with this pack, this is the Blonde Plus, so it does come in the blonde normal version, but I got the plus because it's stronger, and because I got lighter hair now, I wanted to be a stronger kind of purple tone, and that's why it helps maintain the ashiness. And I love this stuff so much. It's also paraben free, which is very important, and it's a great brand so far and it's been good to me, so I will repurchase this afterwards. And I'm almost finished actually, but I'll show you guys. So it came in a set like this, and you can see on the lid here, you can see a bit of the shampoo stuck there. It's a dark purple tone, so when you're looking for purple shampoo and conditioner, make sure the purple tone in the shampoo is quite dark. So in my experience, that really helps it maintain that blueness, whereas if it's a bit lighter and diluted, it might not give you that tone effect that you might need. And with the conditioner, as you can see, it's a much diluted purple compared to the shampoo, and that's because conditioner is meant to be more nourishing and protecting, so you won't really need a purple toned, and that's why this one's quite light, which I do like. So it really helps to nourish my hair, and I love the smell of this brand as well. It smells really good, and I will repurchase it just because it's very good to my hair. It doesn't dry it out, because previously I tried the Di Lorenzo brand. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was a silver purple shampoo, and when I used it I felt my hair was so dry, so that's why I didn't repurchase it. And that's why I'm really happy with these guys, because it does the job and it conditions my hair really well. Along with that pack, I bought it at Hair House Warehouse, and they also gave me a free item with it, so it was a really good deal. And this one is the NAC Leave In Moisturising Spray. So it prepares your hair for heat products as well as maintaining the moisture, and I love this stuff so much. So after I wash my hair, I just towel dry after conditioning it, and then I just spray this all over the hair and I'll let it soak in, and then I can either blow dry it or towel dry it. Now I want to mention, when you're blonde, you want to use less heating as possible. So that means less blow drying, less straightening and less curling, and it really saves your hair. Just because any heat products can really damage it and make it more dry. And that's why when I wash my hair around 2 days a week, and that's because I don't want to overwash it, and that means I might dry it more because I'm using the purple products a bit often. And that's why the most forgiving thing about being blonde is, even if your hair is like 4 or 5 days old, it won't look as bad compared to like black or brown hair being 4 or 5 days old. And the reason being is, when you're very light, when it's oily and a bit dirty, it actually looks the opposite. It looks more healthy, because that way you can't see the oiliness as much. Whereas if you had black or brown hair and you had it for like 4 days, you can see the oils and it's super shiny, super wet looking, and that's why you gotta wash it up more often. So that means I wash my hair 2 days a week, and out of the 2 days I blow dry and I towel dry. So I do it in a pattern, and that way I'm not blow drying all the time, and that won't dry my hair as much. And the good thing about my hair is that I'm very lucky. My hair is naturally straight, so I won't need to straighten it anyway. However, it does curl up a bit at the ends, which I don't really mind. But I do like to curl my hair, so I rarely curl it anymore unless it's an occasion or like I really feel like curling my hair. So that's why my hair does look quite healthy being blonde, because I don't use as much heat products as some people do. So that's a really good thing that you can think about if you can help it and just not curly hair or not straighten your hair. So keep that in mind, guys. And along with purple conditioner and shampoo, what's also important is also giving your hair a tone once in a while. So maybe do it once a fortnight or once a month. So grab a purple or blue toner, and what it does is it basically gives your hair a boost. So basically it means as if it's almost dyeing your hair, but not quite, because toners like these are quite conditioning, so they're not as strong as a classic toner that you get from the hairdressers. And basically this is the paint box one. This is a whiter shade of pale, and this one is the Manic Panic Virgin Snow white toner. And I've used these two before. I love them both. They're really good at conditioning the hair, so it makes my hair feel silky soft afterwards. It smells great as well, and most importantly, it gives my hair a boost of toner. So it keeps it more ashy and more bluish, and it really depends how long you leave it for, because if you really don't mind that blue or purple tone, then you can leave it on for like 30 or 40 minutes. But if you don't like that purple look, then maybe leave it on for 15 minutes then and see how it goes. But you always keep checking it in the mirror, because you never know how fast it develops on your head. Just because everybody is different and it develops differently in everybody, so that's why you always keep checking as you go. And a good tip when using this is, so you want to shampoo first, and then you just towel dry it. I skip the conditioner because this is already conditioning, and what I do is I apply a generous amount on my hand and I start massaging it into my hair as well. So I want to get it everywhere. And if you want to be precise, grab a comb and can brush through that conditioner, that toner over your hair, and just so it gets into every strand. So afterwards you want to try and tie your hair up and then put like a shower cap on top, and that will really keep it in place and keep the heat in the hair, so that will help it develop better and quicker as well. So after you leave it for your desired amount of time, then you want to go back into the shower and rinse it all out. And a good tip with being blonde is, if you want to maintain the toner and the blueness of it, wash in cold water. Now right now it's winter in Sydney and it is so hard to do that, but trust me guys, it's so worth it. I found that in my experience, if I wash my hair with warm or hot water, it really makes it more golden for some reason. I don't know why, I can't explain why, but as soon as I go with cold and cool water, it really maintains that ashiness, which is very interesting though. But you can try it out and see if it works for you. But for me it works, so I've been doing this for like years now. And after the toner, another important product is also serums. Now, these two are the serums that I go to. However, because I have this guy now, I don't use my serums as much. However, if you like to use serums, then I use these two. And this one is the Organic brand, the coconut milk serum, and this one is the Dove's Pure Care dry oil. And these two are oil based, which means they are quite thick. So you need only a tiny pea-sized amount. And what you do is rub it against your hands to warm it up, and then you just want to apply that at the ends of your hair. So by doing so, you're really focusing on the ends where it does get damaged, and it's very important that you do so concentrate down here. You don't really want to put it on your roots, because when you do that, keep in mind that it is oil based, it can be very shiny and it can make your hair look very shiny up here. So if you don't like that wet look, then I wouldn't advise putting up here. Maybe start from the mid ends and work your way downwards, and then you can just go to sleep with that, and it just really nourishes your hair and makes it a bit more shiny as well, and it just makes it feel more nourishing and not as dry. And another good tip is, if you want to maintain and make your hair look more healthier being blonde, trimming is so important. So I trim my hair every time I see my hairdresser 2 to 3 months. So it's super important that you do so. Maybe trim off like a centimeter or so, depending how much or how damaged your hair is or how short you want to go. Just because if you do trim it, it gets rid of any split ends and any damaged ends of the hairs, and it keeps it looking very, very healthy and thick feeling as well. And also, if you do want to grow your hair longer, trimming your hair is so important. It really helps your hair grow nice and even, and it grows faster as well. And one thing to mention, mask is also very important. And just because these are treatment masks and you want to do that maybe once a fortnight or maybe once a month, depending how dry and damaged your hair is. And these are important because, like the toner, it's the opposite. So it doesn't tone your hair, but it conditions and ultra nourishes your hair. And this one is the Loreal Kerastase, and this one is the Masquintense. And I love this stuff. It smells so good. And I love how it really nourishes the hair. So I'm almost finished on that one. So it's quite a nice medium textured cream, and it's just a great treatment to nourish the ends of your hair. So when I use treatments, I tend to just skip my conditioner and go straight into it, just because they're very nourishing. And what you do is when you put it on, you want to leave it for a good 10 to 15 minutes, and then you rinse it out afterwards. And this one is the Macadamia Naturals one, and this is the natural oil. And I love this stuff so much. It smells so good. Oh, it smells so good, and it's just very nourishing. I actually bought this because my hairdresser used it on me when I see her, and I love the way it makes my hair feel. It feels very light. It's not heavy at all. So especially if you've got fine hair, you don't want it to weigh you down. And the good thing about these treatments are they work for my hair because they really nourish it. They leave it feeling very airy and soft. So that's why I recommend these guys to you. So if you want something more natural, then maybe go for the macadamia one, or if you want something that's ultra nourishing, you can try this one as well. But the price point is higher because this one is $60 and then this one was, I think, $30. So big price difference. So it really depends on your budget and what works for you. So you can try it out and see which one you like better. Alright, so coming up, we're finished now. So I talked about all the main items that I used. So now to give you guys a little story about hair. So I've been blonde for a while now, and what I've done is I slowly go blonder. I don't want to go in one go. And just because I got a story for you guys, when I was in high school, I would always use box dyes and I couldn't afford going to a hairdresser, and I just do it myself, DIY. However, like the cons are is if you do box dyes, you might not be able to get the back of your head right, and you might get some patches, so it won't look even. And also with box dyes, I found that the color wasn't always as it displayed on. So there's always a different color on yourself than on the box. And also the box dye, I found they could be quite drying and damaging. So that's why after I graduated from high school and got myself a job, I decided to treat myself and go to a hairdresser and go platinum blonde. And I always wanted to go more ashy, but I didn't know how to do it on myself. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll go to someone that's a bit more professional and find a salon that everyone loves. So I did some research and I found a salon in the city that was pretty popular, and they were from Hong Kong and China, so they were Asian. And I thought to myself, I want to find a hairdresser that understood Asian hair, because with Asian hair, it is very stubborn, it is very strong, and getting from dark to light can be very hard. So when I went to the hairdresser, I was more of a dark brown tone, so my hair was already dyed. So the experience was that it was a great experience. They gave me what I wanted. I was platinum blonde in one day. I was in that salon for 9 hours. However, what happened was we had to do 2 bleaches, then 1 color, then 1 treatment. And it was a long process, guys. It took 9 hours. I was sitting in there for 9 hours and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It took that long. And I had no idea what I was up in for. And when I finished, the price was $400. So it was so expensive. I couldn't believe that I just spent $400 on getting my hair dyed, and it was insane. But the thing that I wanted to mention was, with the experience of the hairdresser, sure, they did the job, however, with customer service, it wasn't great. And what I learned from them was, you need to find a hairdresser that really cares about you and your hair. You want them to really take time to get to know you, get to know what you want, and explain to you the pros and cons about doing this or that. Now with that hairdresser that I went to, they didn't talk to me about, you know, dyeing your hair 2 times, 3 times and bleaching it as well in one day can be very damaging. They didn't point that out. They didn't tell me, you know, how to look after it, how to maintain the blonde, and it just felt like it made me feel like they only wanted the job and the money and they didn't really care about the customer service part. So that's what I learned from that time. So I've never been to them back ever again. So which comes to now in this day and age, I've been with my hairdresser now for 4 years and it's been a long time. I'm very loyal. Like if I find someone that I love and that does a great job on me, I stick to them. I follow them wherever they go. Now with my hairdresser now, she's amazing. Like she understands what I want. She talks to me, she consults with me about the hair colors and the process, so I understand how it works, I understand how to maintain it, I understand what I'm in for. So when I wanted to be blonde like this, I told her that, and she told me, you know what, like slowly go blonder, don't do it in one go because it can be very damaging, and she was right. So every session I saw her was every 2 to 3 months, and we'll just go slowly blonder and blonder, and that way I found my hair wasn't as damaged as before. Because when I was platinum blonde before when I was 17, 18, my hair just kept falling out after that bleach session. Like I had no idea that bleach could be that damaging, and on my part, you know, I could have done research but I didn't. I don't know why. I just assumed that the hairdresser knew everything. So, you know, being young and just, you know, trusting the hairdresser. But after, honestly, I went platinum blonde, my hair just started falling out and it's not as thick as it used to be, so that kind of sucked, but you know what, I learned something from it. So now with my hairdresser, what we do is we do a full head of foils in each session, and foils are great, especially if you're someone that's scared to go too blonde or scared to damage their hair. Using foils, it basically just uses strands of hair that's being bleached, and then the other strands are just left as is, or you put the color on top over it. And basically foils are a safer way and more gentle way of adding lighter colors into your hair. And what it does is foils also add 3-dimensional tones into your hair. So if you can see here, my hair is just not one flat color. There are strands where it's light, there are darker strands, there are more golden strands, more ashy strands. So that's what foils does. So it gives you almost like an ombre kind of effect, which I really like. And also a plus about foils is that when your regrowth comes out, it's not going to be as harsh, especially with Asian hair, because I'm naturally black on my hair. You can see the regrowth so strongly and it's so obvious. So by going to use foils, you're softening that regrowth so it doesn't look as harsh and it looks more like ombre. However, if you actually fully bleach your whole hair, once you have regrowth, you can really see that line of your natural regrowth, and it's so strong. So it can look nice when it's quite short, but when it grows so long, it just becomes like a line of regrowth. And I'm sure you've seen that on people that, you know, you see on the street, or you know someone that has that. So it depends. If you like that kind of look, then that's good for you. But if you don't like that look, then keep in mind that you have to go and see a hairdresser much more often, maybe like 6 to 8 weeks. So keep in mind that that's more damaging, that's, you know, paying more price for it. So keep that in mind when you're going blonde and going for which technique. So either the whole bleach or the foils. So with my previous session in May, I think, I decided to go full bleach. And I wanted that really platinum look. So I told my hairdresser, you know what, like, you know, I'm ready for it, just do the whole bleach. And we did it and I loved it. So it was like this kind of color right now from before. And it's great because it was very uniform. It made my hair very light. So if you're someone that wants to go very platinum and blonde, then go for a full bleach. But keep in mind, you have to go and see your hairdresser often because the regrowth would be very, very obvious. And like my hairdresser said, if I didn't go to see her often, it means that the longer my regrowth is, the harder it is for her to kind of make it look more natural and blend it into my other colored hair. So it makes their job harder. And also because if it's very thick regrowth, you can get a bleach band. And my hairdresser said a bleach band is when you bleach that part of the regrowth, and then you got that little part in between where you don't quite get it right, and then you can see that tone difference, which is what I got here. So you can see here that tone difference from this color and my blonde shade as well. And the story about this color is, when I just saw my hairdresser last week, I was meant to see her for that regrowth bleach, right, just to do it up. However, when she bleached my hair on the regrowth part, after 15 minutes, I was in pain. Like, it was so painful, guys. I was getting a headache, I was feeling nauseous, I was getting lightheaded, I was sweating, and I just felt like vomiting. And it was so strange because I've never felt this way with bleach, ever. So I thought this was so strange, but you know, I told myself, you know what, Joe, stick with it, just deal with this. You know, blonde is worth it, you're gonna look great, stick with it. And then after 15 minutes later, so total time was 30 minutes in the bleach, I couldn't take it no more. You know, I almost fainted, and I was like to her, oh my gosh, just take it out. I can't handle it. It's so painful. Just wash it out. So after 30 minutes, we washed it out, and that's why this hair is like that. So keep in mind, if you don't leave your bleach on for the longest time, maybe like 45 minutes, you won't get that lightened effect, like this kind of color, which is why I have this middle toned blondie brown shade. So unfortunately, I couldn't take it no more, so I had to wash it out. I didn't care if it was gonna be like this. I just told her, you know what, we'll just try and fix it as much as we can to make it not as noticeable. So it was quite noticeable before. However, after we washed it all out, she suggested to me, Joe, just do foils and that would soften it up. So we did the foils afterwards, and it looked much better afterwards, so it's not as obvious. But we agreed that in our next sessions onwards, we'll just go back to full head of foils, because that bleach did not work for me. And the thing is, some people are allergic to bleach out there, which is why it's really important to consult with a hairdresser, because when I had the full bleach on, I was getting redness around my forehead. Like, my face was getting red, and it shows that you're reacting to it. And also, after we washed it out, I felt some scabs on my head. So it sounds disgusting, but it wasn't that painful, but it wasn't bleeding at all. It was just blistering. So it just goes to show that bleach can be very burning as well. So if I left it for any longer, my hair could have been even worse. Like, my scalp would have been ruined. So please keep that in mind, guys, when you're bleaching, because bleach is just insane. Like, if you're lucky and you can deal with it, then by all means, bleach your whole head if you want this kind of look. However, if you're not up for it, just slowly go blonder, and that is the safest bet to go, especially if you don't want to fry your hair, because once you fry your hair, guys, you can't go back. So now, like, my hair's not as thick as it used to be, but you know, I can make it better by using the products that I used. And that's why being blonde is such high maintenance, and you really need to think about it, because once you go blonde, you really damage your hair, you can't bring it back. And also, it's so important to invest in good hair products to really protect and nourish your hair, because being blonde can be so damaging, and you just gotta know and do your research and see what you're up for before you do that, because you can't go back. Okay, so we're done now, guys. So I hope you enjoyed my storytelling time, and I hope this video was informative for you, especially if you're looking to go blonde or to bleach your hair. And please give the products I mentioned a go, see if it works for you, see if you like it, and I hope to see you in my next video, and bye guys.